The alarm blared through the small research station. Lieutenant Marcus Reed jumped from his chair and rushed to the monitoring screen. A ship was entering the atmosphere of Epsilon 9 without permission. "Computer, identify the vessel," Marcus said, his eyes fixed on the red dot moving across the screen. "Unknown vessel, not matching any Earth Alliance designs," the computer replied in its flat voice. Marcus frowned. The outpost was far from any major space routes. No one came here by accident. He watched as the ship's path became erratic, its trajectory no longer controlled. "It's going to crash," he muttered to himself. The dot on the screen plummeted toward the dense jungle about 20 miles from the research station. Marcus should report this to Earth Command immediately. That was the protocol. But something made him hesitate. "Computer, was there a distress signal?" "Affirmative. Partial transmission received. Signal terminated upon impact." Marcus made his decision. He grabbed his emergency medical kit and headed for the rover. If someone was alive in that ship, they might not have much time. Earth Command was 12 hours away at best. He couldn't wait that long. The rover bumped and jumped over the rough terrain as Marcus pushed it to full speed. The jungle was thick here, with giant ferns and twisted trees that towered overhead. As he got closer, he could see smoke rising above the treetops. The crash site was a mess of broken trees and scorched earth. The ship was smaller than he expected, not much bigger than his rover. Its sleek design was unlike anything humans had built. The hull was cracked open like an egg. Marcus approached carefully, scanner in one hand and stunner in the other. "Hello? Anyone alive in there?" he called out. A weak sound came from inside the damaged ship. Marcus climbed through the torn metal. The interior was filled with smoke and sparking wires. And there, strapped to a pilot's chair, was a figure unlike any he had seen before. She, Marcus somehow knew it was female, had pale blue skin that seemed to shimmer even in the dim light. Her face was humanoid, but with large, almond-shaped eyes that took up much of her face. Where humans would have hair, she had what looked like delicate tendrils that moved slightly on their own. Marcus recognized her species immediately. An Allin, one of the most advanced and secretive alien races known to humanity. They rarely interacted with humans and were known for their incredible advances in genetic science. The Allin was badly injured. Purple blood seeped from a wound in her side. Her breathing was shallow and rapid. "I'm going to help you," Marcus said slowly, not sure if she understood English. He put down his stunner and held up his medical kit. The Allin's eyes widened in fear. She tried to move away but winced in pain. "Human," she said, her voice melodic despite her obvious pain. "Do not contact your authorities." Marcus was surprised she could speak his language. "You're hurt. I need to get you medical attention." "No. They will find me." She reached out a six-fingered hand and gripped his arm with surprising strength. "Please." Marcus knew he was breaking at least a dozen regulations. Contact with Allin was strictly controlled. Any unauthorized ships were to be reported immediately. But the fear in her eyes looked just like human fear. "What's your name?" he asked as he began to examine her wounds. "Celera," she replied, her breathing becoming more labored. "You are breaking your laws to help me." Marcus nodded as he applied a healing gel to her worst injury. "I'm Marcus. And yes, I am." "Why?" she asked, confusion clear in her large eyes. Marcus carefully lifted her from the chair. She was lighter than he expected, almost delicate. "Because you need help," he said simply. "And where I come from, that's more important than rules." As he carried her back to the rover, Marcus knew his life was about to get very complicated. But something told him Celera wasn't just a random Allin who had crashed on his planet. There was more to her story. And he was going to find out what it was. Marcus's small research station was not built for two, especially when one was an alien that no one was supposed to know about. He placed Celera on his bed and got to work treating her wounds. The purple blood had stopped flowing, but Solara's breathing was still weak. Her blue skin felt cool to the touch. Marcus wasn't sure if that was normal for an Allin or a bad sign. "Computer, seal the station. Authorization read Alpha 7, Marcus said. The computer beeped in response. No one would be able to enter without his permission now. 3 hours later, Solara's eyes fluttered open. She jerked upright, then fell back with a gasp of pain. "Easy," Marcus said, moving to her side. "You're safe." Solara's large eyes darted around the room, taking in the human technology and sparse furnishings. "Where am I?" "My research station on Epsilon 9. I'm the only one here." Marcus handed her a cup of water. "Can you tell me why you crashed? Why you don't want me to call my people?" Solara took a small sip of water. "I had to leave my world quickly. There was no time to plan a better route." She studied Marcus's face. "You are taking a great risk helping me." "I know." Marcus checked her bandages, "but letting you die wasn't an option." "Such sentiment is uncommon among my people," Solara said. She tried to sit up again, more slowly this time. "I am a genetic researcher. My work was questioned by the High Council." "Questioned how?" "I discovered something they wished to keep hidden." Solara's tendrils moved in what seemed like agitation. "They are using Earth creatures in ways that violate our treaties with humans." Marcus frowned. "What ways?" "They are cloning your planet's predators, enhancing them, creating weapons." Solara's voice grew stronger with anger. But something unexpected happened. The creatures developed traits that should not be possible. "What traits?" "Emotions, complex ones, like humans have." Solara looked directly at Marcus. "They feel fear, joy, sadness. Some even show signs of advanced reasoning." Marcus sat back, stunned. "That's impossible. Clones wouldn't develop human emotions." "It should be impossible," Solara agreed, "unless human DNA was used in the process." The implications hit Marcus hard. "Your people are creating human-animal hybrids. That's forbidden by every treaty between our worlds." "Yes. When I raised concerns, I was removed from the project." Solara's tendrils curled tightly against her head. "Then I found they planned to eliminate me entirely." "So you stole the research and ran," Marcus guessed. Solara nodded. "I have proof on my ship's data core. If I can contact certain allies, we can expose this to both our governments." Marcus paced across the small room. "The ship's badly damaged. I can help you retrieve the data, but the communications array was destroyed." "I can modify your equipment to reach my people," Solara said, "if you are willing to help further." Marcus knew he had already crossed a line he couldn't step back from. "I'll help you. But we need to be careful. If Earth Command discovers you're here, they'll take you into custody immediately. And if the Allin find me first, I will not survive to tell anyone what I know." Solara attempted to stand but wobbled. Marcus caught her arm to steady her. "You need to rest more before we do anything," he said. "Your injuries are serious." Solara looked at his hand on her arm, then at his face. "Why would you risk so much for someone not of your kind?" "Because it's the right thing to do," Marcus said simply. "And because no one should die for telling the truth." Solara's expression changed, showing something like wonder. "Humans are known for their emotions. I did not expect to find such principle as well." "We're full of surprises," Marcus said with a small smile. "Now rest. Tomorrow we'll get your data and figure out our next move." As Solara closed her eyes to rest, Marcus checked the perimeter sensors. So far, they were alone. But he knew that wouldn't last. Someone would come looking for Solara soon. And when they did, he would be ready. 3 weeks passed. Solara grew stronger each day. The research station, once a place of loneliness for Marcus, now felt alive with her presence. "What is this sound?" Solara asked one evening. They had just finished dinner, Marcus eating his standard rations, while Solara consumed a nutrient mix they had created together. Marcus smiled and turned up the volume on his small music player. "It's called jazz." Music from Earth. Silara closed her large eyes and listened. Her head tendrils swayed slightly with the rhythm. "It makes no logical sense," she said. "The patterns change constantly. Yet, I find it pleasing." "Not everything good makes logical sense," Marcus said, watching her reaction with interest. Silara opened her eyes. "The Allin focus on science and logic. Art exists only to serve function." She gestured to the music player. "This serves no function, yet it creates feelings." "What kind of feelings?" Marcus asked. Silara paused, searching for words. "Like floating. Like the space between stars." She looked embarrassed. "I sound foolish." "Not at all," Marcus said. "That's how music is supposed to make you feel." They worked daily on modifying the communication system. Silara's knowledge of technology far exceeded Marcus's, but she needed his help to make her designs work with human equipment. "Hand me the molecular bonder," Silara said, her head buried in a panel of wires. Marcus passed her the tool, their fingers touching briefly. He noticed her skin wasn't as cool as before. It now felt closer to human temperature. "You're adapting to our environment," he observed. "Yes. Allin bodies can adjust to most planetary conditions." Silara emerged from the panel. "In the same way, those Earth creatures were adapting. But not just physically." Marcus sat beside her on the floor. "Tell me more about them." "The first sign was when they refused to fight each other," Silara said. "The scientists expected them to be aggressive, but instead they formed social bonds. Then they started showing emotions toward their handlers." "Like what?" "Loyalty. Grief when separated. One, a modified wolf, tried to comfort a scientist who was upset." Silara's voice softened. "When I suggested they had developed emotional capacity beyond their design, I was told to ignore it." "That's why you took a stand," Marcus said. "You saw they were becoming something new." Silara nodded. "Something that deserves protection, not to be used as weapons." She looked at Marcus. "Your people value emotional connection. Mine do not understand it." "Yet you seem to," Marcus pointed out. Silara's tendrils rippled in what Marcus now recognized as a sign of deep thought. "Perhaps I am defective by Allin standards. Or maybe you see things others miss," Marcus said. A comfortable silence fell between them. Marcus realized how much things had changed. When they first met, every conversation was cautious and tense. Now there was ease between them. Trust. The moment was broken by a loud beep from the security system. "Proximity alert," the computer announced. "Approaching vehicle detected." Marcus rushed to the monitor. "It's a standard issue rover, Earth Alliance markings." "Have they found me?" Silara asked, her voice tight with fear. "I don't think so. It's probably my supervisor, Captain Chen. She checks on me every month." Marcus looked at the approaching vehicle. "I missed my last 2 scheduled reports." "What will we do?" Silara gathered the tools quickly. "Hide in the storage room. I'll handle this." Marcus helped her collect the communication parts. "Don't worry. I won't let them find you." As Silara headed to the small storage room, she paused. "Marcus." "Yes. Thank you. Not just for hiding me. For showing me humanity." Marcus felt something shift inside him. It wasn't just about helping someone in danger anymore. It was about Silara herself, her courage, her curiosity, her growing understanding of human ways. He watched her disappear into the storage room and turned to face the door. Whatever came next, he knew one thing for certain. He would protect her, no matter the cost. "Lieutenant Reed, open up." Captain Chen's voice was sharp and commanding. Marcus took a deep breath and opened the door with a casual smile. "Captain, this is unexpected." Captain Chen did not return the smile. She stepped inside, her eyes scanning the room. "You've missed 2 check-ins. That requires an in-person verification of status. Sorry about that. The communication system has been glitchy. I've been trying to fix it." The lie came easily to Marcus now. Captain Chen looked at the half-eaten meals on the table. 2 plates, Lieutenant. Marcus laughed. I was testing some local plant samples. Protocol says to use separate dishes. Chen's eyes narrowed, but she nodded. I need your research logs. Command is concerned about your lack of data uploads. While Chen reviewed his station computer, Marcus felt sweat forming on his forehead. If she searched the storage room, everything seems in order, Chen said finally. Fix your communication system, Lieutenant. Next missed check-in will result in your replacement. Marcus nodded. Understood, Captain. After Chen left, Marcus waited 10 minutes before opening the storage room. Silara stepped out, her face showing relief. That was close, she said. Too close, Marcus agreed. And she didn't believe me. We need to move faster. That night, as they worked on the communications array, Marcus's station alarm blared again. Multiple ships entering atmosphere, the computer reported. 5 vessels. Design matches known Allin configurations. Silara's face paled to a lighter blue. They found me. How? Marcus checked the scanner. The ships are heading directly for your crash site. The data core, Silara said. It has a tracker. I disabled it, but they must have reactivated it remotely. Marcus made a quick decision. We have to leave. Now. They packed essential supplies and a half-finished communications device. Marcus grabbed his emergency pack and research rifle. Where will we go? Silara asked as they hurried to the rover. The northern mountains. There are caves there that block scanner signals. Marcus started the engine. We can hide until we finish the communicator. As they drove through the dark jungle, Silara looked at the stars. I should never have involved you in this. Marcus kept his eyes on the rough path. I chose to help you. Why? She asked. The truth this time. Marcus was quiet for a moment. At first, it was just about doing the right thing. Now, he glanced at her. Now it's about you. Before Silara could respond, a bright light flashed overhead. An Allin ship, sleek and silent, passed above the trees. They're scanning. Silara whispered. Drive faster. Marcus pushed the rover to its limits. The jungle gave way to rocky hills. They were close to the mountains when the rover's engine sputtered and died. What's happening? Silara asked, fear in her voice. They're using a disabling field, Marcus said. We have to continue on foot. They grabbed their packs and ran. The mountains loomed ahead, dark against the night sky. Behind them, the whine of Allin ships grew louder. There's something I didn't tell you, Silara said as they climbed. About the research data. What? Marcus helped her over a large boulder. The cloned creatures, they didn't just develop emotions by accident. Silara paused to catch her breath. The scientists used human DNA to enhance certain traits. That's why they have human-like emotions. Marcus stopped climbing. Human DNA. Where did they get it? From diplomatic exchanges, research sharing. Silara looked ashamed. My people violated every ethical standard. A searchlight swept over them. They pressed against the rocks, barely avoiding detection. We need to reach the caves, Marcus whispered. Then you can tell me everything. As they continued climbing, Marcus heard another sound. Not the hum of Allin ships, but something else. Something moving through the forest below. Something large, powerful, and following their trail. Marcus pulled Silara behind a large rock as the sound of movement grew closer. He raised his rifle, ready to defend them against whatever was coming. Don't shoot, Silara whispered, putting her hand on the barrel of his gun. Look. In the moonlight, a massive shape emerged from the trees. It moved with the grace of a cat, but was larger than any earth tiger. Its fur was striped orange and black, but with strange blue markings that seemed to glow faintly. Is that? Marcus began. One of the modified earth creatures, Silara confirmed. A tiger, enhanced with both Allin and human DNA. The tiger stopped at the base of the slope and lifted its head. Its eyes reflected the moonlight, intelligent eyes that searched the darkness with purpose. "It's hunting us," Marcus said, taking aim again. "Wait," Solara moved in front of him. "I don't think it means us harm." The tiger took a step forward. Then, to Marcus's shock, it spoke. "Help." The word was rough and barely formed, but unmistakably language. "Danger." Marcus lowered his rifle slowly. "It can talk." "Some had begun to form words before I left," Solara said. She turned to the tiger. "We will not hurt you." The tiger climbed toward them, moving carefully. Up close, Marcus could see scars on its body and a broken tracking collar around its neck. "Escaped," the tiger said, its mouth forming the word with clear effort. "Others coming." A searchlight swept over the trees below. The tiger flinched away from the light. "It's running from the Allin too," Marcus realized. "Yes," Solara reached out slowly and touched the tiger's head. "What is your name?" The tiger made a rumbling sound. "Shen." "I helped create you," Solara told the tiger. "I am sorry for what was done to you." Shen's eyes, so much like a human's in their expression, seemed to understand. "Not your fault." Marcus watched in amazement. The creature before them was clearly intelligent, with emotions and thoughts like a person. "We need to keep moving," Marcus said as more lights appeared in the sky. "Can you show us a safe path, Shen?" The tiger nodded, a very human gesture, and turned to lead them up a hidden trail. They climbed for almost an hour, following Shen through passages too narrow for humans to find easily. Finally, they reached a cave entrance, hidden behind a waterfall. "Safe here," Shen said, leading them inside. The cave was dry and deep. Marcus used his light to check for dangers, but the space was empty except for some old leaves in one corner. "Shen's den," Solara guessed. "He's been hiding here." "How many like you are there?" Marcus asked the tiger. 23, Shen answered. "Different animals, all thinking, all feeling." He made a sound like a sigh. "All afraid." Outside, the storm that had been threatening all night finally broke. Rain poured down, making the waterfall stronger. Thunder boomed across the sky. "We're safe for now," Marcus said. "The storm will hide our heat signatures from their scanners." Solara knelt beside Shen and examined his injured shoulder. "I can help with this," she said, taking medical supplies from Marcus's pack. As she treated the tiger, Marcus watched her gentle movements. How could someone from a species known for cold logic show such compassion? "You risk everything to save them," Marcus said softly. "They are alive because of my work," Solara replied. "Making it right is my responsibility." Shen purred as Solara finished bandaging him. The sound filled the small cave. "Rest now," Solara told the tiger. She moved to sit beside Marcus against the cave wall. The rain continued outside, creating a curtain of water across the cave entrance. In the dim light of Marcus's lamp, Solara's blue skin seemed to glow. "You are cold," she said, noticing his shiver. Without waiting for a response, she moved closer and put her arm around him. Marcus felt warmth spreading from where their bodies touched. "Thank you," he said, "not just for the warmth." Solara's head tendrils curled gently. "For what?" "For showing me that connection can cross any boundary," Marcus said, "even between different worlds." In the corner, Shen watched them with knowing eyes. The storm ended at dawn. Marcus woke to find Solara already working on the communications device. Shen stood guard at the cave entrance, watching the sky. "Any sign of them?" Marcus asked, joining the tiger. "No ships," Shen replied. His speech was improving quickly. "But they still search." Marcus returned to Solara. "How's the communicator coming?" "Almost ready," she said, not looking up from her work. "With the parts from your rover, I can send a message to my allies in the Science Council. And they'll help us." Solara's tendrils curled in what Marcus now knew was uncertainty. "I hope so." Not all Allin agree with the weapons program. A soft growl from Shen alerted them. The tiger's ears were flat against his head. "Someone comes," he said. Marcus grabbed his rifle and moved to the entrance. Through the falling water, he could see figures moving in the forest below. Human figures. Earth Alliance soldiers, he said. Captain Chen must have reported her suspicions. The Allin will find them, Solara said, working faster on the device. If they clash, it could start a war. Marcus made a decision. I have to warn them. Get that communicator working. I'll be back. Before Solara could object, Marcus slipped out of the cave and down the hillside. He moved quickly through the trees until he spotted the Earth Alliance patrol. 6 soldiers in full combat gear. Lieutenant Reed, the squad leader, said when she saw him. Captain Chen said you might be compromised. Listen carefully, Commander, Marcus said. There are Allin ships in the area. They're looking for something, and they're armed. Allin? Here. That's a treaty violation. The commander raised her hand to her comm unit. I'm reporting this to command. Wait, Marcus said. There's more at stake here. The Allin have been running secret genetic experiments using human DNA. They've created intelligent hybrid creatures. The commander looked skeptical. That's a serious accusation, Lieutenant. I have proof, Marcus said, and a witness, an Allin scientist who wants to stop the program. Before the commander could respond, an alarm sounded from her scanner. Multiple contacts approaching fast. Allin ships. Get your squad to cover, Marcus urged. This doesn't have to end in conflict. Too late. An Allin ship appeared over the trees, its weapons ports open. A voice boomed from a speaker. Earth forces, you are in violation of treaty space. Surrender the fugitive scientist, Solara, and all her research data. The commander looked sharply at Marcus. This is what you're involved in. She's trying to prevent a war, Marcus said. Please, give me a chance to resolve this. The commander hesitated, then nodded. You have 5 minutes before I call in reinforcements. Marcus ran back toward the cave. Halfway there, he met Solara and Shen coming down. I sent the message, Solara said. My allies responded immediately. They're sending a diplomatic ship. We may not have time. Marcus told her about the standoff below. Solara's face showed determination. Then I must speak to both sides now. Together, they returned to where the Earth soldiers and Allin ship were at an impasse. I am Solara, she announced, stepping forward. I am the one you seek. The Allin ship landed, and 3 tall blue-skinned figures emerged. One pointed a weapon at Solara. Traitor, he said. You have stolen state secrets. I have exposed crimes, Solara replied. Crimes against sentient beings. The Allin officer laughed coldly. These are animals, not people. At that moment, Shen stepped out from behind Solara. The Earth soldiers gasped. The Allin stepped back in surprise. I am not animal only, Shen said, his words clear and strong. I think, I feel, I am. The Earth commander found her voice. What is this? This is what the Allin have created, Marcus explained. Beings with human intelligence and emotions. They used human DNA without permission. The Allin officer raised his weapon. This abomination must be destroyed. Marcus stepped between the gun and Shen. If you want him, you'll have to go through me first. Lower your weapon, a new voice commanded. Everyone turned to see a larger Allin ship descending from the clouds. It bore different markings than the military vessel. Senior Council Member Trazen, the Allin officer said, his voice suddenly respectful but uncertain. He lowered his weapon slowly. An older Allin emerged from the ship. His blue skin was darker, his tendrils longer and gray at the tips. He walked with the confidence of great authority. Solara, Trazen said, your message reached me. These are serious claims. They are truth, Elder. Solara stepped forward. I have brought proof. She held out a small data crystal. This contains all research files on the hybrid program, the use of human DNA, the development of emotions and intelligence in the subjects. The Earth commander moved closer. If human genetic material was used without consent, that's a direct violation of the Peace Treaty of 2157. A misunderstanding. The Allin officer tried to explain. No, Solara interrupted. It was deliberate. The military wanted weapons they could control with telepathic commands. Creatures with the strength of Earth predators, but the intelligence to follow complex orders. Trazyn took the data crystal and inserted it into a device on his wrist. His large eyes widened as he read the information. This is disturbing, he admitted. But what of this creature? He pointed to Shen, who stood proudly beside Marcus. My name is Shen, the tiger said. I speak for 23 others like me. We wish to live free. Trazyn stepped back in surprise. It truly speaks with understanding. He, Marcus corrected, nodded. He speaks. He thinks. He feels. Marcus looked directly at the Allin elder. Just like you and me. The Earth commander studied Shen with wonder and concern. If human DNA was used to create these beings, Earth has a responsibility toward them too. They are Allin property, the officer insisted. No, Marcus's voice rang out strong and clear. They are no one's property. They are a new form of life, one that deserves the same rights as humans or Allin. Solara moved to stand beside him. Marcus is right. We created thinking, feeling beings. We cannot treat them as weapons or experiments. Trazyn was quiet for a long moment. The implications are significant. A diplomatic summit, the Earth commander suggested. Both our governments need to address this situation properly. Agreed, Trazyn said. But what of these creatures in the meantime? All eyes turned to Shen, who met their gaze without fear. Let me speak, Marcus said, stepping into the center of the gathered humans and Allin. I've spent weeks with Solara. I've witnessed her courage and compassion. And now I've met Shen, who shows the same qualities. Marcus gestured to the forest around them. Look at what's happening here. An Allin scientist risked her life to save beings she helped create. A human lieutenant broke rules to help someone in need. A tiger born in a lab speaks to us with wisdom. He took a deep breath. What makes us people isn't our DNA or where we come from. It's our capacity to care for others, to sacrifice for them, to love them. At the word love, Marcus looked at Solara. Their eyes met, and something passed between them that everyone present could see. The human speaks wisdom, Trazyn said softly. Perhaps there is more to emotions than we Allin have acknowledged. Give us a chance, Solara pleaded. Let the hybrids live in peace while our governments negotiate. The Earth commander nodded. I can designate the northern region of Epsilon 9 as a provisional sanctuary. No military presence from either side. Trazyn considered this a reasonable compromise. I will support this at the diplomatic summit. The Allin officer looked unhappy but didn't object. Shen made a rumbling sound of approval. Thank you, he said. We will remember this day. As the groups began to discuss details, Marcus moved to Solara's side. We did it, he said quietly. Solara's tendrils curled in happiness. No, Marcus, you did it. You showed them what humanity truly means. 6 months later, Marcus stood on a hillside overlooking the small valley. The sun was setting, painting the sky in bright colors. Below him, a new settlement was taking shape. Simple buildings made of local wood and stone formed a circle around a central gathering place. Some structures were sized for humans, others for the various hybrid creatures who now called this place home. It's beautiful, Solara said, joining him on the hill. Her blue skin glowed in the sunset light. Hard to believe how much has changed, Marcus replied, taking her hand in his. After the confrontation in the forest, both the Earth Alliance and the Allin Confederation had been forced to address the hybrid creature's existence. The diplomatic summit had lasted weeks, with heated debates about ethics, rights, and responsibilities. In the end, the agreement was simple but powerful. The northern region of Epsilon 9 would become an autonomous zone for the hybrids. Both humans and Allin would provide support but not control. And most importantly, all genetic experiments using mixed DNA would end. Shen is teaching the younger ones today, Solara said, pointing to a clearing where the tigers sat surrounded by smaller hybrid creatures. Their language skills are improving quickly. Marcus smiled. They have a good teacher. 23 have become 31, as more hybrids escaped from labs and found their way to the sanctuary. Each arrival was celebrated with a ceremony that Shen had created, a mixture of Earth and Allin traditions. The Earth Alliance has approved my new position, Marcus said, official liaison to the autonomous hybrid territory. And the Science Council has approved mine, Solara added. We will both be here permanently. They walked down toward the settlement, greeting humans and Allin who had come to help build or study. Once enemies, now working side by side. It wasn't always easy, but it was progress. At the edge of the settlement, a small building stood apart from the others. Their home, designed with features for both human and Allin comfort. They had moved in just a week ago. Elder Trazin arrives tomorrow, Solara said as they entered. He wants to observe the hybrid's social development. He's changed his views a lot, Marcus noted. Many Allin have. You helped us see what we were missing. Solara's tendrils curled gently around Marcus's arm. Emotions are not weakness. They are strength. Marcus pulled her close. The first time he had held her, it had felt strange. Her different body, her cool skin. Now it felt like the most natural thing in the world. I have something to tell you, Solara said, her voice soft but excited. The medical tests are complete. Marcus looked at her, hope rising in his chest. They had been told it was nearly impossible. Human and Allin biology was too different. It worked, he asked. Solara nodded, her large eyes shining with joy. Yes, the genetic treatments were successful. I am carrying our child. Marcus felt tears form in his eyes. How? The doctors said. The same science that created the hybrids, Solara explained, but used ethically, with care and love. Our baby will be the first natural-born human Allin child. Outside their window, they could hear Shen calling the community to the evening meal. Human voices mixed with Allin, and the various sounds of the hybrid creatures. A new kind of family, unlike anything the galaxy had seen before. When I crashed on this planet, Solara said, I thought I was running away from something terrible. And instead, Marcus asked, holding her close. Instead, I was running toward something wonderful. She reached up to touch his face. A new beginning. For all of us. As darkness fell, lights came on in the settlement. Not just electric lights, but colorful lanterns the hybrids had made. Beautiful art from creatures who had been created as weapons, but chose to create beauty instead. Marcus and Solara stood in their doorway, watching the community they had helped build. Their unlikely love had changed two worlds and created a new one.